Some may think that Link's biggest challenge was defeating Ganon, or maybe overcoming the harsh truth of the royal family underneath the well, but for most players it remained one dungeon, the most annoying and stressful dungeon. Of course, we are talking about the Water Temple. The Ocarina of Time Water Temple will go down in Zelda history as the most frustrating and confusing dungeon. Even for returning players who have completed the game several times, the Water Temple is still to this day a long and confusing puzzle for Zelda veterans. But why is this temple infamously remembered with such dislike and hatred in arguably one of the greatest games of all time? Today we will be going over what makes the Water Temple so hated. On paper, the Water Temple is brilliant, but that's where the idea ends. It's a dungeon built entirely around one single idea: manipulating water levels to explore a multi-level structure. In practice, however, it's a complete nightmare to navigate. With a confusing sense of progression, instead of being a cool puzzle, it felt more like a vertical water maze with constant backtracking to find the one key you just can't seem to locate. One of the worst parts of the Water Temple is the need for the iron boots. It makes your movement slow and you have to open up the menu every single time to equip them, meaning any time you needed to use it, you had to open up the menu, go to the equipment screen, equip the boots, then close it. For a temple themed around water, it's ironic how this is the one thing that ruins the smooth flow completely. However, in the 3DS version, they fixed this by allowing the iron boots to be a quick select item, making the overall dungeon a tiny bit less annoying. The temple's main mechanic is raising and lowering the water levels, which seems cool on paper, but after doing this a few times it gets very tedious. Especially when you have to revisit the same place many times and then you have to play Zelda's Lullaby and wait for the cutscene to finish. The temple makes you feel like you're making progress. Then all of a sudden it hits you with another 20 minutes of changing the water levels and retracing your steps. Let's talk about the main criticism of the Water Temple: the layout. The Water Temple is a labyrinth of near identical hallways and vertical rooms, stacked on top of each other. It's easy to lose your sense of direction in here, making you constantly think,
which floor am I on? Did I already go through that?
To make things a lot worse, a lot of the key doors are hidden behind small obscure holes or underwater passageways that blend in with the floor, making it very easy to accidentally swim right past it. The temple itself is not hard at all, it is just very confusing, as we cannot find out where to go next most of the time. If we look at the Forest and the Fire Temple, they were both masterclasses, in atmosphere, in pacing, and in progression. So you can imagine how players might feel going from an absolute 10 out of 10 temple to this, coming from two exciting temples to this exhausting loop of backtracking. Over time, this common feeling towards the Water Temple became a collective memory for most Zelda fans. Everyone remembers the Forest Temple for the cool atmosphere, epic boss and mini boss fights, but for the Water Temple, everyone only seems to remember where they were when they finally found that one lost key they couldn't seem to find. Eventually, it became some sort of shared trauma for all Ocarina of Time players. With all this being said, the Water Temple did have some cool aspects, such as one of the best mini-boss fights in the entire game, Dark Link, where Link has to overcome himself in order to progress, in a mirror-like scenery, just you and your shadow self. The whole temple can be heavily critiqued, but the saving grace is definitely the Dark Link fight, which rewards you with a very lazy item, being the long shot. An upgrade of an already existing item, but at least it made the boss fight, although very forgettable, a very fun fight.